Hey guys, Ash here on the HD Fan. I am back with another Al Pacino rant. I have been gone a long time. I honestly don't know what else to talk about besides the stuff by Al Pacino. I don't know what else to talk about. Actually, I was thinking about redoing my Vampire Diaries ranking because I recently just listened to the one I made on YouTube, and I watched that show so many times that I finally figured out the correct rating for the show. So maybe that's the next video I'll do, to just take away from Al Pacino, because I do have like my favorite characters he's ever played in movies. I have that list coming. But I think do something outside of him. I'll think about maybe redoing the Vampire Diaries season ranking. And I'll think about this too, since I've done couples I cannot stand. I'll think about maybe doing couples. I did couples that should have been in game. I finished that video. There was more couples that I did have, because I think the last couple I did was Ellie and Craig from Degrassi. But I lost my old draft to the couples I had in there that were besides Ellie and Craig. I lost the final draft, so let's just say that they were the last couple to that series. I'm thinking about maybe doing couples that I love on TV that I've watched and I honestly just adore them, and I'll just explain why I love them, why I ship them. So I'll do something like that, just something different besides Al Pacino, because other than that, I really don't know what else to rant about. Literally, I don't know what else to rant about. I've done stuff on Tree Hill, I've done stuff on OC. Another thing I think about doing is, there are so many shows that I have watched in my life that I've never got a chance to talk about. Maybe I'll do something like that where I talk about shows that I watched and just give my opinions on them, maybe why I stopped watching, why I loved it. So yeah, there are a lot of shows that I watched that I've not talked about on this channel. Like, I watched Teen Wolf, I don't talk about it, but I did watch Teen Wolf, I don't talk about it. So maybe you guys will know, well, why don't she talk about Teen Wolf? So just shows that I've watched in my life that I just never get a chance to talk about. So let's get into the video today. Topic at hand. We're talking about Al Pacino's 80s movies. I have been dreading talking about this, but here we are. Personally, the only good movie from his 80s collection is Scarface. I personally already made a video about why Scarface is a great movie. It's a cinematic masterpiece. So I'm not going to really sit here and explain why I like Scarface, because I've originally already did a video about that. Let's just say Scarface is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life, and I personally really love it. It's one of Al Pacino's best movies, and I definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it. But let's talk about the other movies that he did in the 80s. Starting from the first movie he ever did in the 80s, Cruising. This movie, okay, first of all, I'm going to say it. This movie made me extremely uncomfortable. I'm just going to say it. And no, it makes me uncomfortable because it has to do with gay people. That should get that underneath the surface, because I don't like people who like to twist words or try to make you assume you're this or that. I am the least homophobic person you will ever meet in this world. The least homophobic person you ever meet. I have nothing against anybody. Live your true self. You being gay is not going to affect my life. Period. And that's all I have to say. The reason why this movie is so uncomfortable is because this movie was literally a porno. This movie was literally a porno just turned into a crime drama. Literally, it was a porno turned into a crime drama. Like, everything about this movie was just so uncomfortable. Like, literally. We're dealing with things like rape, which is very uncomfortable for me as a person, not because I'm a victim of it, don't want to get too personal or anything like that, not because I'm a victim of it, because rape, it's a sexual assault, because I don't want my video to get demonetized. Sexual assault is just a very uncomfortable situation for anybody. Like, it's just really a skin crawling thing for me. I don't like seeing it. I really am like sensitive towards it. I really don't like. So you just get my point. We're dealing with things like SA, and we're dealing with things like homophobia circumstances. Like, there's a lot of homophobia stuff in this movie, and it makes it really uncomfortable to watch. Like, there was a scene in the precinct where like they were looking for the killer, and Al Pacino, his character, was like watching behind the door. The door was closed with like a blind. He was watching underneath the blinds, and like they forced this guy to take off his pants, and like they were like torturing him to see if he was the killer. And it's like, but they knew that he was gay, and it's like, that to me is really, really unnecessary. I feel like that was just really, really uncomfortable to watch. Like, the things they did to him, like they beat him up, they forced him to take his pants off, and like, it was really just uncomfortable. I feel like if you're someone, whether you're gay or not, I think you would think this is just really uncomfortable for you to watch as a person. And like, it was just, this movie was a mess. Like, it was really a mess. Like, you don't even find out who the killer was at all. And I just want to know, was things like this back in the day like an actual thing? Like, when you were a cop, you had to go undercover, and like, was that? I just wonder if that was really a thing, because I think that is so funny. And Al Pacino's character, I don't even know if his character, what's his character name in this? Let's see. Let's figure out what his character name is in this real quick, guys. His name is Steve. Steve decides to take the case, and things, once he starts going to the club, he starts to think that he might be gay, which is another reason why I don't like this movie, is because you're telling the audience that just because a person hangs around gay people, or he might be associated with the gay persona, that he might be gay. How? When you like females your whole life, how the hell are you just like, yeah, I'm gay now, I like guys? That doesn't work in real life. That is completely inaccurate at all. At all. If you're a girl and you might have had experience with other girls, but you know that you like guys, your desire is to be with a man and to be, you know, intimate with a man, then you know you're not a lesbian. There are a lot of girls that I know who had experience with other girls, but they, at the end of the day, they want a guy at the end of the day. They want a man at the end of the day. So, I just like for him to think that he might have been gay because he was undercover in a situation, I just thought was just ridiculous. I'm just going to say it's ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. Everything between him and his girlfriend, the relationship started to get strained. I think there was a scene in the movie where, like, I think he, like, I don't know if he tried to get her to do, like, I don't know, I don't want the dude to get demonetized, so I'm not going to say it because it's going to get demonetized. But just know there was a scene in the movie where they got intimate and it got really, like, weird in a weird way. That's what I'll say. You have to watch the movie to understand what I'm saying, because I don't want this video to get demonetized because I can't say certain things. So, alright. I don't know that movie way too long, so let's just say Cruising is a bad film to me. A lot of people like this movie. That's your opinion to like it, alright. But to me personally, I don't like this movie. I thought it was extremely uncomfortable. I thought the plot was just everywhere. The pacing was a mess, and Al Pacino doesn't really play a very interesting character to me here. So, on to the next movie, and this is in no particular order of the 80s movies, just one. This, like, no, like, Cruising was his first movie. Okay. So the next movie he did after Cruising was Arthur. This movie was boring to me. It was really boring. Yet the one thing I do love about Al Pacino is that he's always been an actor that was able to step into different roles. He didn't mind playing a gay guy. He didn't mind playing a gay character. He didn't mind playing a gangster. In this movie, he's playing a dad, and that didn't bother me. I just thought the plot was boring. Like, it was really boring. He didn't really have chemistry with any of the kids. This is really about him and his toxic marriage with his wife. and I don't know. I just don't recommend it. He don't play a very interesting character. I think he's a uh, he's a play teacher trying to he's struggling to make plays, but he doesn't play an interesting character to me. This is definitely an opportunity movie that I would never watch again. So the next one, we talk about Scarface. He made that in '83. So we'll talk about Revolution. This movie is a British war drama. And right there you lost me. Personally, I don't like watching movies about war or any of that. Any of that. I don't want any of that. Sorry. This movie was just really, really boring. How long is this movie? This movie is 2 hours. Hell no. 2 hours of my life that I would never get back. I'm never ever watching this movie ever again. It was boring. They forced him to have a British accent, which didn't work because you can hear his English. You can hear how normal he sounds. He doesn't have an a British accent. I think this movie is about his daughter getting taken, and they forced her into the war. So now he's joining the war to reunite with his daughter. It's just 2 hours of complete boredom, literally. The pacing is too slow. The character he plays is not that interesting. The plot is not that interesting. It's really, really a boring movie. Literally, you could forget that he did this movie in his career, and you'll be fine. So the last one we're going to talk about is Sea of Love. Now, this is a movie that I felt like in his 80s, besides Scarface, that I was like, okay, this is actually a good movie. I rewatched it not so long ago for to talk about his 80s movies, and this movie is dumb. It's so dumb. This movie is ridiculously dumb because, okay, the plot of the movie is, the thing is, they had a good plot, but they ruined it when they revealed who the person was at the end of the film. So in this movie, they're trying to figure out who's killing these men, him and this other cop. They're sleeping with other women, putting themselves in promiscuous relationships with other women to find out if these women are behind the killings. One woman in particular he went out with, he thinks something is a little bit off about her. She carries a gun in her purse. She seems kind of off. So he decides to pursue this shit with her, but he finds out that she has a kid, and him and his lady have no chemistry whatsoever. Another thing I'm gonna talk about, I don't care about I talked about this previously, but I ever thought it might have been weird. I don't want to see an older Al Pacino having a sex scene. I've already expressed it in the past, and I'm saying it now. It is extremely weird that you would take a man who's like literally about to be 50 years old, and you're putting him in a situation where he needs to have sex. Listen, he can have sex, I just don't want to see it. That's what was like icky to me, is that they were like showing the sex scenes. Like, it was so icky. Like, he looked old. Like, he looked, no offense to him, but he looked like he was aging already into an old man. Like, I don't want to see that. I want to see a young Al Pacino have sex. Like, honestly, why couldn't Serpico have a sex scene? I'm going to say that again. Why couldn't Serpico have a sex scene? Why couldn't we see a better sex scene in Bobby Deerfield? Like, that's the Al Pacino that I want to see getting on bed, not an older Al Pacino that's looking like the average grandfather. But him and this girl have no chemistry, and even though he's suspecting her of these killings, because he sees like these albums in her room, and like he sees like these pictures of other men in her hanging up on her refrigerator. So that's what the writers fucked up at. They had the perfect idea right there to make her be the killer, but it turns out that she's not the killer. Her ex-husband is killing men that she's sleeping with because he can't stand the fact that she divorced him and she got a restraining order and he can't see their daughter. And another thing I thought was weird about this movie is that she's trying to make Al Pacino's character play daddy. Like, she talks about, she said, "Do you think you'll be a good dad one day?" He said, "Maybe." She said, "Well, how about today?" I'm like, hold on, we hooking up. I don't think nothing about being anyone's dad. Like, she's trying to force him to be daddy. I'm just thinking, like, girl, go back to your husband if you want a family for that. But to me, I thought that's when the movie completely threw me off. Like, you had an opportunity to make her the killer, and she wasn't. Like, why would her ex-husband? It was just stupid. Like, I think they did that because it was like the writers was like, okay, we're making her have a kid, so it's like, who's the dad? It's like, it doesn't. I don't care who she had a baby with. This is about, the plot of the movie is about killing, and I think in New York, men being killed. Even though, yes, her husband being possessive and killing people, that's interesting. But you had the opportunity to make her the killer because you had everything there. He thought something was wrong. He thought something was off about her. She had a gun in her purse. Like, you had all the evidence there, and the writers chose to make her ex-husband. Like, that's when movie just kind of threw me off. Like, not only that, the movie is kind of slow, and it's, like, kind of boring, and, like, it kind of drags. Like, the plot drags. Like, even towards the middle of the movie, when him and the girl start hooking up, it's like he's not even trying to connect any real evidence. Like, the plot just keeps dragging. And it's like, is he ever going to suspect this woman or not? It just drags. And then out of nowhere, is her ex-husband pops up and tries to kill him. And it's just ridiculous. So, the 80s movies were not kind. The 80s era was not kind to Al Pacino. It makes me almost kind of sick to my stomach that a great actor like him was put in these terrible roles. And it's crazy that he decided to do them. It's like, did he not read the script for these movies? But the thing that I love about him is that he is comfortable doing whatever role. He will try to, he always tries, not saying he always fits into his characters like a glove, because like I said, some of these movies were bombs, but I appreciate the fact that he tried to, that he did do it. You know, like, he did play a man trying to figure out his sexual identity. That he did play a father, that a cop is something we already see him play, that he gotten back into the role of being a gangster in Scarface after not being one so long after Godfather 2 in 1974. Like, he even played a British guy. He even did a war movie. Like, that's ridiculous. But that's all I have to say about his age movies. They terrible. I don't recommend any of his movies besides Scarface. Scarface is the only movie I would say watch if you have never seen it. So that's all we have to say. That's all we have to say for you guys. The next video is probably going to be on my favorite characters who's ever played in his movies. So look out for that list. It probably won't be long, but look out for it. And thanks for watching and listening.